We are starting today with the United States Senate. We still don't know who controls it. We still don't know who will control it. But there is going to be a runoff in the state of Georgia on December 6th between Raphael Warnock and challenger Herschel Walker. This may be the race that decides who controls the Senate. Let's set it up and tell you where we are right now. At this point in time, based on the seats that have been determined definitively, it is Democrats 48 and Republicans 49 in the Senate. Remember, Democrats need only 50 for a majority because Kamala Harris, the vice president, would be the 51st vote, a tiebreaker in the event of any 50-50 deadlock. It is quite possible, that Democrats won't actually need Georgia. Why do I say that? Well, in Arizona, Mark Kelly, the incumbent Democrat, is 5 points ahead of Blake Masters, the horrible Republican challenger, with 76% of the vote in. Is it possible Masters could still win there? It is. Is it likely? No. This race, when it is hopefully called for Mark Kelly, will put Democrats at 49. You then have the state of Nevada. In Nevada, the incumbent Cortez Masto is running 1.8 points behind Adam Laxalt. But experts who are looking county by county at what is outstanding in Nevada say this may end up being a defeat for Adam Laxalt because even though 84% of the vote is counted, the 16% that is left favors Cortez Masto. The question is, will it favor her enough for her to make up 1.8 points? We don't know the answer. If indeed Cortez Masto pulls this out, that's 50. And the Georgia race becomes for 51, which would make Kamala Harris's tie-breaking vote unnecessary. But we can't count on that. It is totally plausible that control of the Senate will depend on a December 6th runoff in Georgia. Why is there a runoff? If you look at the results, Raphael Warnock won. Well, Georgia has what's called the 50% threshold rule. If no candidate gets to 50%, a runoff will be held between the top two candidates. And indeed, because there is a third-party candidate in Georgia, Oliver, who got a hair over 2% of the vote, although Raphael Warnock won by 1.3 points, nearly 50,000 votes, there will be a runoff. This is the race in which we must now get involved. I don't know that I can make it down to Georgia in the next few weeks, but we are going to try to see what we can do at a distance. Can we do live streams, fundraising for Raphael Warnock, and maybe get matching funds set up? Well, we'll take a look. Can we do some kind of live group mass phone banking, or at least get people signed up to phone bank or something like that? We're going to see. What can we do? This is a race of critical importance. There is a dramatic difference between Democrats losing the House and Senate versus Democrats keeping the Senate but losing the House. Yes, if Democrats lose the House, they'll probably try to file articles of impeachment against Joe Biden. They'll obstruct. They'll do a whole bunch of stuff. But in particular, when it comes to federal judges, potentially a Supreme Court justice over the next 2 years, we don't know, control of the Senate is absolutely critical. So if you live in Georgia, make sure that you're going to vote in this one. Your vote quite literally could decide who controls the Senate for the next 2 years. And who controls the Senate at the time of the 2024 election could also impact that presidential race. So we're going to have much more about this, but that is where we are. Herschel Walker, right up there as one of the worst candidates I've ever seen, can barely speak, can barely explain his position on any issue, a complete and total hypocrite, says he's against abortion in all cases, urged and paid for multiple women to have abortions, says we need, we need fathers involved in their kids' lives, is an absent father himself, pulled out a fake badge during a debate, has no qualifications whatsoever, has no business whatsoever being in the Senate. This is not only about control of the Senate. To some degree, this is also about reducing the level of humiliation of the United States globally. I get emails from people all over the world, Germany, UK, Ireland, Australia, saying, David, what is wrong with the United States? A guy like Walker should be laughed off any of these stages. In no other country would he even stand a chance. And I think generally speaking, those people are right. Let's now talk about Lauren Boebert. If you have a friend or loved one who is passionate about the environment, here is a perfect holiday gift. Our sponsor, Established Titles, is a project that lets you ceremonially purchase as little as 1 square foot of dedicated land in Edelston, Scotland, so that you can call yourself a lord or a lady, like the historic Scottish tradition. Some people even change their plane tickets or credit cards to include lord or lady. Your title pack comes with an official certificate. You can see exactly where your plot of land is located. It makes a perfect last-minute gift. But most importantly, Established Titles plants one free tree for every plot of land sold. Established Titles does really good work all over the world with reforestation organizations like One Tree Planted and Trees for the Future. So you'll have a great laugh whether you're Scottish or not. I'm not. But you're giving the gift of reforestation to fight climate change. If you use my link, you'll get 10% off, and your plot of land will be right next to mine. You can see it on a map. Go to establishedtitles.com/Pacman and use the code Pacman for an extra 10% off on top of their Black Friday deal. The link is down below.